May I come in,
Please
sir?
come down.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rahul. Please sit down.
Thanks.
Rahul,
Yes.
please tell us something about yourself.
Sir, my name is Rahul. I belong to the state of Bihar. My hometown is Patna. I graduated in instrumentation engineering from NIT Trichy, Tamil Nadu. Subsequently, I have been currently working with NTPC, posted at Shaktinagar. My interests are playing chess and quizzing.
Acha, very good. Quiz. Tell me who's the chairman of Niti Aayog?
Shri Amitabh Kant.
Sure.
He's the CEO of Niti Aayog, sir.
What was my question?
Yes, sir. I'm not sure about that. I'm sorry.
Who's the Prime Minister of our country?
I'm sorry, sir. Could you?
Who's the Prime Minister of our country?
Shri Narendra Modi.
Who's the chairman of Niti Aayog?
He's the chairman.
Huh?
What?
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo. Volleyball. What is the spike and lift in volleyball?
Yes, sir. Lift is basically on the second pass. The setter sets the ball above the net to a certain height, wherein the attacker plays it in such a way that the ball goes in a downward trajectory, which is difficult to dig. So that is known as a spike shot.
Okay. What is lift?
Lift is the action of setting the ball for the spiker.
Acha, you sure?
Yes, sir.
Is lift even legal? Can you lift the ball in volleyball?
Sir, if it refers to holding the ball,
What is lifting? You're an engineer.
sir, okay, I'm not sure about it.
Think no. Don't say I'm not sure and get out of it now. Think logically. You're an engineer. Okay?
Yes, sir.
When you lift, what do you do?
We hold the ball.
So then,
A hold is a foul.
could it be a foul?
Yes, holding the ball is a foul, sir.
So lifting is also a foul then? Is it legal or no?
No, it is not legal, but in loose volleyball lingo,
Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. Huh?
Yes.
Very good. Chalo, huh? Shabash. I'm glad. I'm very happy that you got through this.
Thank you,
Okay. Very good. So tell me, you've been in Bangalore also for 1 year.
yes, sir.
Tell me something special about Bangalore.
The cuisine of Bangalore, sir.
Okay. Then what else?
Uh,
But is
the-
it special? It is southern cuisine. It's pretty much available everywhere. Bangalore doesn't have a cuisine of itself. It's all mix and match. It's a hot pot.
Yes, sir. I agree it's a hot pot, but the concept of Bangalore tiffins and the various
Okay.
restaurants culture is
Very
what
good.
I liked
Then
about it.
next.
Next is the weather of Bangalore.
Okay.
I liked it because of its
Can we
temperate
go
touch.
beyond all these basic things of weather and all of that? We say Bangalore, first thing that people say is weather. What about the pollen then?
The
Pollen. People, the number of people that have cold issues in Bangalore na, because of the weather, it's unimaginable. So the weather is a blessing or I don't know what it is, but the weather is terrible because it gives you terrible health.
Sir, to that I would say that since I'm from Bihar, I'm accustomed to cold weather. So I
It's not
found
about the cold.
yes,
Go on. Then what else?
apart from that, the lively culture of startups, meeting, very easy to meet and approach people who are very accomplished in their fields.
Okay, very good. That is good. Better. Now you're thinking, finally. Your IFS is your second choice, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Who's winning the war in Ukraine?
Sir, currently Ukraine has been pushing hard and there has been a stalemate for the past few months. With the support of the NATO allies and the technological support Ukraine is getting, currently my assessment is Ukraine is pushing very hard to secure its eastern frontiers.
Acha. Who's benefiting? Okay, let me reframe. Who's benefiting from the war in Ukraine?
The arms supplier nations.
Okay, then who else?
Apart from that, India,
Okay.
because of its exchange with Russia, it has been able to save a lot of foreign capital
Acha,
on import
very
of oil.
good.
And also other nations in terms of
What is India's role? What role do you foresee for India in this Ukraine-Russia conflict?
Sir, there are two aspects to it. One is the loss that India is facing in terms of the supply chain constraints.
That's different.
Yes, sir.
Answer my question specifically. What can India's role be in Ukraine and Russia? What can India's role be in this conflict?
Since the image of India has been seen as someone who can bring both parties to the table, it can increase its say in the foreign affairs.
Okay.
Both Ukraine and Russia trust India a lot, and it has been evident in the statements made by Mr. Putin as well as Zelensky.
So the role of a mediator?
Yes, sir. I would say that.
Okay. What are the other places where India can mediate?
To that, I would say the G20 presidency, where
We need to mediate. G20. We need to facilitate G20.
Yes, sir. Facilitate.
Oh, mediate is very different. Where else can we mediate? Tell me quickly. You have no time. Think and tell me.
The Sri Lanka, China, the crisis of Sri Lanka.
Okay.
It can mediate between the IMF and the Sri Lanka because it is short of funds. Since India recognizes the One China principle.
So no.
No, I don't think it would be able to.
Palestine, Israel?
It has good relations with both, but I would say dealing with Palestine would be very difficult.
So no mediation?
No mediation because we are favoring Israel in our foreign affairs currently.
I'll come back to you on feedback. I tried, I give you a long leash, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Rahul from Patna.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next half a minute, tell me something about Bihar and particularly about Patliputra.
Sir, the historical aspect?
I don't know. Next half a minute is Rahul's time.
About Patliputra, sir?
Bihar and Patliputra.
Okay, sir. Kindly give me some time to assess it. Okay. Sir, I would start by Bihar has had a very long history. The history of India starts with the history in the Magad region. We have a long history, and seeing the contemporary times, Bihar has evoked mixed responses in terms of its lagging of socio-economic indicators, the caste-based politics, the law and order issues. But recently we have seen that it is progressing at a very healthy pace, surpassing many of its competitor states. Apart from that, it is also famous for a lot of negative as well as positive aspects. Its cuisine, culture, and a rich history. Bihar, I would say in a nutshell, is a land of opportunities for the next few years.
Okay. Now tell me something about, recently some controversy about Ramcharitmanas. Are you aware of that? Some minister in Bihar government saying something and Ramcharitmanas. Are you familiar? No.
Not in depth. I did not read about it in detail, sir.
But there is something about, in the newspaper we read about Ramcharitmanas.
Yes, sir. There was a news wherein minister stated that it is not, but I'm not aware of its
Okay, let's I think get out of this. Now, your second choice is Indian Foreign Service.
Yes, sir.
There is so much talk about Global South. Are you familiar?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me something about Global South. What is Global North and what is Global South?
Sir, Global South it is an economic term wherein it represents a lot of nations who were erstwhile colonies and other nations who have lagged behind in economic development vis-a-vis the Global North, who are considered more developed economies. So Global South comprises of nations from Southeast Asia and other poor nations from Africa, wherein they represent themselves together in many forums under the name of Global South.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Last 12th and 13th January, we had this Global South conference and where 120 countries participated. Honorable Prime Minister said, 4 words: respect, recognize, respond, and reform. If you are going to join the Foreign Service, what it connotes: respect, recognize, respond, and reform. In the words of our Honorable Prime Minister.
Yes, sir.
What should we reform? I think, now I will come to the specifics.
Sir,
okay, let's get out of this, I think. Now, G20, India is the president.
Yes, sir.
What is the slogan?
The slogan is One Earth, One Family, One Future.
What it means?
It means the world is a global common, and the tagline is also Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. So it means that the world is one family, and we are in this. We should face our problems and resolve them together.
Okay, my last two questions. Your optional was electrical engineer?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. How electrical engineering will help you as a civil servant? Suppose you are the district magistrate of Patna. How this subject will help you as the district collector?
Yes, sir. Sir, I would like to quote a specific example wherein having a background in electrical engineering would help me push renewable energy in energy intensive cities such as Patna. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We are currently dependent, especially in Bihar, the profile of renewable energy in the energy mix is very low. So having an electrical engineering background, I would push towards solarization, rooftop solar in government institutions, solar street lamps, and in general pushing all the schemes of the government, such as the Kusum scheme. The agriculture pumps should be solarized. So these things would be priorities as part of my electrical engineering background, sir.
Okay, Rahul. You represent New India. Okay? Yes. You are a student of electrical engineering. You are an aspirant for the civil services. What is your vision for the year 2047, India at 100? Rahul as an aspirant for civil services, Rahul as an electrical engineer. What is your vision for India at 100 for the year 2047?
Sir, in a nutshell, I would say inclusive and sustainable growth. Inclusive as in the...
Okay, don't explain. One, inclusive and sustainable growth.
Yes.
Two.
Second is achieving our targets towards the Panchamrit goals, achieving renewable energy targets. And three would be social sector indicators, the HDI index. We need to work a lot compared to our neighbors.
What is HDI?
The human development indicators.
What are the parameters?
Standard of living, expected age, standard of living, and schooling. Basically.
Are you sure? What are the three parameters in human development index?
Sir, kindly
you mentioned HDI. That's why you have dragged me into the concept of HDI.
Sir, it is number of mean years of schooling, the expected age, the living age.
Don't go into the micro parameters. Tell me three macro parameters.
Sir, health, education, and poverty.
Are you sure?
Not 100%, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. So, Rahul, how do you celebrate success?
Sir, with my friends.
How do you do it?
By showing gratitude to people who helped me achieve success and enjoying with co-peers who have been a part of my journey.
All right. Which has been your greatest failure in life and what are the learnings thereof?
Sir, at this point, looking back, I would say my greatest failure, which I consider, was I could not join the IITs for my graduation, which was one of my dreams. And if I could point out to one reason why I could not do it, was because I was not sincere in my efforts.
But I asked you learnings from there, from the failure.
My learning has been to put my 100% with all the dedication and resources that I have.
Okay. Now, describe an example in your life, let's say, from your life, where you had to confront to achieve results. You had to confront somebody to achieve results. What did you do and how was it received?
Yes, sir. In my college, since my graduation stream was instrumentation engineering, and during the college placements, the company that I worked for, the organization, Texas Instruments, when they came for recruitment, they opened their profile only for electronics and communication students. So we as a representation went to the placement cell and we convinced them that even our branch has the pedagogy required to be qualified to sit for their entrance. So it was a very long discussion. It was stretched over 2 days. Finally, they agreed to our rationale, and I was one amongst who was selected from our department. So that was a success story.
How long were you there in Texas?
Sir, 1 year and few days.
What is your role there?
Sir, I was in the verification team of the C2000 microcontroller group, which were basically the applications of those microcontroller were solar modules, converters in solar modules. And I was in the testing and verification team.
Testing and verifications. Your kind of quality assurance role you had, right? Okay. Now, you're an electrical engineer,
Yes.
right? What are the four applications of electrical engineering? And I'm not looking at household applications.
Yes, sir. The first is applications in renewable energy, going forward solar and wind and our transmission sector. Second is industrial automation, the Internet of Things, robotics. Third would be transport sector, driverless cars, magnetic trains, metros. These are the top three. The fourth was household applications, but
No, instrumentation, your own domain area, is a great application of electrical engineering.
yes, sir. Automation through
Right.
automation, yes, sir.
Communication systems, isn't it? Now, I'll ask you some very basic questions. Different types of cables used in electrical transmission. There are three types.
Sir, I'm not able to recall. sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Difference between capacitance and induction.
Yes, sir. Capacitance represents the ability to store charge, whereas inductance shows the resistance to change in EMF.
Okay. Resistance. Okay. You're not stating the role of voltage. For example, in capacitance, at a specifically given voltage, how much is can be stored inside a capacitor, right? That's important, actually. All right. What is an ideal transformer?
Sir, I cannot recall
Yeah,
the.
let's move on. What are the functions of different colored wires? Very basic in the electrical circuit. You have different colors, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, they represent line wires, neutral wire, earth wires. Like black represents the earthing wire, red represents the live wire.
Come again?
The black colored wire, they are generally the earth wires, the neutral.
No, there's a source of power. That represents the source of power. Okay?
Okay, sir.
What else?
Sir, I do not remember the color grading of all these schemes, sir. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Key features of electrical sector in India.
I'm sorry.
Half a minute.
Sir, I'm sorry. Key features
Key
of.
features of electrical industry or electrical sector in India.
Okay.
That's my last question.
I would like to discuss two. One is the opportunity for automation in terms of Internet of Things and IR 4.0, which is lacking in our engineering sector, such as BHEL manufacturing. And second would be tackling the import dependence of certain key modules, such as solar modules from China, and achieving Atmanirbharta in those critical sectors. These are the top two in my mind.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Rahul,
Yes, sir.
you work with NTPC. What is the full form of NTPC?
National Thermal Power Corporation.
How do you make thermal power?
Coal is the fuel input, the energy input.
Good. So we are moving towards renewables.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the future of NTPC then?
Yes, sir. Yes, we are moving towards renewable. Currently, approx 40% of the installed capacity is renewable. For NTPC, I would say that it has already formed a joint venture in terms of NTPC Renewable Energy Limited. We are investing in two ways: direct commissioning of renewable projects such as solar and wind, and second, through our consultancy, since we have certain expertise in the generation sector. Other than that, I would say that energy scenario in India for the upcoming 10, 20, 30 years would still be dependent on thermal power in a big way, all because renewable technology is not mature enough to handle the grid capacity.
Government has a vision of going carbon neutral by the year
2070, sir.
Good. Can we be carbon neutral by 2070? What's your take on that?
Yes, sir. My take on that would be sustainability and carbon neutrality has to be balanced with energy security as well. Taking the example of Germany, wherein they shut down all their coal-fired power plants. But since the Russia-Ukraine war, the gas supply to European nations got cut in the gas pipeline issue. So they again had to go back to the coal-fired plants. So we have to take steps towards decarbonization and greening, although we have to also...
Okay, since you have gone to Germany now, I would like to ask, is only the shutting of coal-fired power plants responsible for the crisis in Germany? Or is there something else also?
Thank you. That's so nice. Thank you.
Sir, I'm not sure about that answer.
Anything related to nuclear?
I have not read about it, sir.
Has France also faced similar problems which Germany has faced?
I'm not sure about it, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. You have studied in NIT Trichy,
Yes.
Tamil Nadu. So, two good practices which you learned during your stay in Tamil Nadu, which you would like to take with you and apply in administration in Bihar if you get a chance to do so.
One would be with regards to all the government schemes and subsidies. The automation rate and the governance efforts were very good. Like, for example, the ration cards. So ration cards were already being issued on the lines of PDS system, wherein biometric based uptake was one of the earlier...
Is it not there in Bihar?
The level of penetration is what I'm trying to refer to, sir.
Okay, digital penetration. Okay, number one. Number two?
Number two would be the awareness amongst people about the government schemes in general, about what they are entitled to and how it should be done. That is because the administration in forms of IAS, IPS officers,
Okay.
they used to go to mass
How
outreach
do you
programs.
make people aware?
People-to-people contact through citizen outreach programs involving the local self-help SHG NGOs. That is the way we actually reach, apart from very active use of social media.
What is a citizens charter?
Citizens Charter, as part of an organization, is a set of its commitments it makes towards public service delivery, its aims and objectives.
Okay. Since Indian Foreign Service is your second choice, if you get selected for Indian Foreign Services, which country would you like to go and serve India? If given a choice.
Sir, I would say I would get involved in a country where India has, in the sense, starting to form the bilateral relations somewhere in Africa, or wherein we are starting to develop bilateral relations, because that would give me more opportunity to explore and diversify my work.
You have still not given me a name. I asked for a country. You named a continent.
Sir, that is because I'm not sure which nations India has a formal relation with, so I am not able to answer that.
Okay, that will be all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thanks.